Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll be continuing our alternate Rise of Civilization. And we will be starting with disruption. So, with a bit of disruption, we're back. I don't know what level the societies would be at, but I'm pretty sure they'd be, I would say there's no contact between here to here. Like, here to here. You can't really communicate. Probably heard of their existence, or maybe they never, but as we know, the world's starting to get more and more discovered. As you can see, Central North Americans are pretty good. But the middle of the US isn't the best because it's all mountains. Somehow they did get across some mountains. How did they discover it? Nobody knows, but they did. With the first Great Lake being found. As an explorer goes up over here. They note this area for the rich resources. I don't know. For good trade, easy navigation. As they decide to discover the Great Lakes. And then they move to the area around it. And they find the St. Lawrence River. But now they move over here. And as you can tell, they're discovering lots over here. And they actually discover all the coast. And then these areas inland are easy to follow. But as you can see, North America, as I'm not going too far north because these explorations will take time. With them going up into what we would call Quebec, whatever they call it. And some more nations will definitely be formed in discovered areas, but let's keep discovering. With discoveries going down into Central America, they finally reach South America, but this expedition kind of runs out of supplies and is halted. But something interesting happens. Why do I say stuff is interesting? Because I can. And why do I say because I can? Because I can. Pretty simple, maybe. As you can see, this nation forms based around the Great Lakes. They eventually get to the coast. And eventually this nation discovers their goal is to discover all of to have access to every Great Lake. There's many nations we could compare this to. With this Western Pacific state expanding. And the Red Nation wants to expand coast to coast. Although they don't know there's another coast. But they find another nation, that's how they discover. Right now, North America is only young. And really, pretty good that we have nations down here, to be honest. That we're not just focused on the other world. But the nations here are bigger as there's not much people. Unless you'll usually make it easier to expand broadly. With the Himalayas being somehow not really discovered, but the nations decide to partition the lands they don't know. Despite the fact they know nothing about it. With the Chinese places, which is in China, but anyways. It's a bit confusing when I accidentally call them what our modern world will call them. But with there being a big, conflict in many areas between a Cold War, if you can call it that, between this empire and that empire. And an empire now claims they're going to be the greatest empire to ever live. As they've got their resources, manpower, and everything, they're ready to expand. And this is this nation, which is kind of resembling the Mongol Empire. And nothing good can come out of a nation rapidly expanding, you would think. And with them managing to sweep across, and I mean sweep across, Asia. Within a matter of years, probably 10, 15, maybe even 20 years, they've taken that over. But they go after a new nation.
This nation.
With the nation eventually surrendering over, and that's what they look like. With the blue country deciding that the purple country is a bit of a threat. So they invade, but they underestimated the purple country. They got to about a year. They didn't think they were too strong. But now tell me this isn't strong. They move down and take back most of their land and even some extras. Seeing this, well, this team over here invades. And the red team takes its turn and invades something. Yep, the red country invades. And they even move into like the beginning of this blue team country. And this being the age of expansion. This is where expansionism in this timeline starts to really take root. And eventually the blue country was partitioned pretty successfully too. And this country is now starting to invade nations to keep it from falling to its southern neighbor. As if you can call this, is really just a Cold War. No direct fighting, but both challenging each other. With this being an interesting scenario at this point, because really, the world is still being conquered and expanded, but this is wars are breaking out more frequently as there's less land. And the Sahara still hasn't been discovered. Yes, there might be civilizations there, but it doesn't appear so in this timeline. And I know there was, but you can't discover the Sahara. That's the only problem. Or so that's what our storyline is. They can't. Maybe they could and would if they had the chance. But they don't. With them moving into this country, with every continent starting to have its mega powers, eventually these two nations will go to war. With this area eventually getting discovered. And now we can start putting nations in. With their discovery being a big deal. With the nation here forming, although I think I used this red already. Nations of all shapes and forms are spawning. Yep, they're spawning is what I'm going to say. And that pretty much does it all for today's video. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's video. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys!